I woke up today with social media kind of being in a frenzy. There was an article from Kotaku, eventually went on GameSpot and all these other websites, talking about the fact that Destiny 2, which was slated for September of this year, was going to be pushed out of September. Does that mean it's going to come out in October, November, or even hell, maybe next year in 2017? I do not know. Again, it's not going to be something Bungie confirms if it is legitimate or not, because that would piss off a lot of people. Anytime a game developer decides that, hey, we need to postpone this for certain causes, it's going to cause a riot. So they can't confirm this. At this point, the best they can do is no comment this situation. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And I think that whether or not this is true or not, that it's actually a good thing. Anytime a developer comes out and says, hey, okay, so we have to postpone the release date of this game, it's serious. That means they've encountered a really, really large problem, or they're definitely not going to meet that release date. Something's going on. But either way, it's because they want to make the game better, or they've completely dropped the ball. Don't know what it could be in the situation, but that's something worth noting. I do overall encourage this method. So many times games are released wonkily, they just don't have proper balance or issues. And if this means they're delaying it for a few months so that, they can properly utilize balance or introduce dedicated servers or whatever it is they're working towards in Destiny 2, I'm all for it. Take your time, because I don't want another situation where you release a game and it's in just a terrible state for months and months and months until you eventually get that shit together. I want you to make sure it is launched flawlessly and I can just make beautiful, beautiful internet love to it. That's what I want. So if that means taking a few extra months, go for it. Even more so is they haven't actually announced the confirmation that Destiny 2 is coming out this year. And that has also caused, some kind of rifts in the community, because we had a roadmap last year, if you will. We had directions. Hey, this DLC is coming out in this month. This is what's going to be in it. This time last year, we had new maps, we had new weapons, legendaries, exotics, we had a new raid, and as of right now, you can take your boyfriend and girlfriend out for Valentine's Day. That's all we have. We've had Sparrow Racing, we've had Festival of the Lost, we've had no real base game content, and it's almost 6 months in to the life of Destiny the Taken King. And we've had nothing. And they have still not confirmed what's coming, what's next, what's going on. We know there's a February update, but there was also, a December update, a November update, and every update in between. So, this article, to me, though it may be credible, it was definitely a witch hunt. But it was all justifiable. Everything in there felt like they had it out for Bungie. And, it just could be the passion of the people that are playing that's actually writing this article. But a lot of it, it struck something. It was legitimately concerned and pointing out the flaws. And you can't really treat this game with baby gloves anymore. You got to obviously notice them for their faults and their mistakes. And I honestly believe that this is a scary thought for another reason, though. As much as I encourage companies and developers to postpone things if they have to push things back to make sure it's launched just incredibly well, you do have to understand that, if I recall correctly, Destiny was slated for a release in 2013. I mean, obviously things changed, and apparently they took an extra year to release it in 2014 due to revisions to the base story. You're probably shaking your head right now and just saying, what story, right? I'm sure they polished a lot of things between then and there, but they decided they needed to take an extra year. Is that going to be the same situation here? I don't know. Have they bitten off more than they can chew? I don't know. But this could also explain why we've had no content, why they've not announced anything, why they've not confirmed anything, why there is no actual game plan this year around, is because maybe it's kind of like out there right now. Maybe they're still deciding it. And that was a great case they, mentioned inside of this article, is maybe they honestly don't know. And it all kind of comes together like, okay, well, I guess that would probably be why they haven't told us anything, is because they haven't really gotten a handle on things yet. So, as much as I'm kind of like, and I'm worried about where this is going to be, this is ultimately going to be a good thing, because they're going to be able to polish the game, they're going to be able to release it beautifully, and in the end, that's a good thing. I want a working product, not a half-ass working product. But it's worth noting that this also creates another problem. If, in fact, they are going to postpone and push the release date back, it means they're going to probably move around their resources. They're going to realize things are not working in the current state. They're going to want to try to speed things up to get out a timely release, which means they may sacrifice content this year, which You know, there's not a lot of it, but if it means allocating their resources, putting them in the right direction for Destiny 2 to get it as close to that initial release date as possible, they may actually strip things from this game or, you know, the work or the people and put those towards the next project. So, I mean, there's lots of things to be worried about with this. All I can say is just be patient, and as, you know, easy as it is to be negative about the current state of Destiny and the future and everything, we do need to understand that this is not confirmed yet. We don't know if this is credible. I'm sure it's going to be a long time until they say anything about it because we haven't had any updates in the last 6 months. So this is where we are right now. And I'm curious about your feelings. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? Do you think postponing to get everything lined up and in order is the right play here? Or would you rather be released half-assed and then work on it over time? Because we've seen exactly how well that's worked over the last year and a half. So, thanks for watching, guys. Enjoyed the commentary. Let me know. The articles are going to be located in the description of this video if you want to check them out yourself. You guys have a great evening. Subscribe if you're new here. I'll keep you up to date on everything that unfolds with this topic, and I will catch you guys around sometime.